Hey, it's Rich back with you for another video. I've got some questions on how fast the Bonanza really is, and looking at the book numbers, it's kind of hard to compare it with a Cirrus based on that. So we decided we have a Cirrus base with you. Mitchell's getting ready. We're going to take both these airplanes up, kind of do a side-by-side comparison, see which one faster. We're going to take you along for the ride.
You see him? Yeah. Up there? Yeah. You got us, Mitchell?
I got you, Rich.
Yeah, kind of head towards the west end of the island a little bit.
Start to turn now.
What's your SoCal frequency?
It's going to be 127.2.
Okay, we got you in sight. We're going to just climb towards you. So yeah, just head to the west end of the island.
Say again, Rich, you said head to the west end of the island?
Yeah, we got you in sight, and we're probably at least a couple miles of trail, so by the time you get there, we should be in good shape.
Sounds good. I'm going to hit up SoCal now.
Boston.
Your buddy is about a mile on trail? 3000 and a affirmative. Yeah, should show up as 0 Charlie Romeo. 330 Charlie Romeo, yeah, I see that. Do you want to be classified as a flight of 2 aircraft, or does your buddy want to flight one as well? I'll just be classified as a flight of 2 for 1 Delta Lima. I'll show you flight of 2, 1 Delta Lima, peek in, everybody squawk standby, and we'll show you flight of 2. Roger, 1 Delta Lima, thanks for the help.
Copy, standby. You hear me, Mitchell?
Yep, I got you.
All right, I heard the SoCal check-in. We're squawking standby. What's your altitude?
Altitude now is 6,600 and still doing 120, heading 210.
All right, temporarily lost you, but I'm still in trail, so I'm looking. We're out of 5.5. Hey, Mitchell, let's switch to 12345.
Roger. Rich, I'm with you. I'm going to check in with SoCal real quick.
Roger. They say white is the easiest to see.
Just letting you know, we got a Bravo clearance up to 8,500.
Okay, I think we're clear of the Bravo now, aren't we?
Just barely in it.
When you get to 85, just slow down to 120 or stay at 120.
We're slowing down, Rich, and she said for you to call her. I guess we're so far away.
What frequency?
13435.
SoCal Bonanza 330 Charlie Romeo 8.5.
Over 330 Charlie Romeo, go ahead.
Yeah, just checking in with you, 8.5. We're trying to get onto a 2-ship with the Cirrus.
Over 330 Charlie Romeo, roger. You guys want to be handled as a flight of 2, or do you want your own flight following?
We were hoping for a flight of 2.
Roger, just let me know when you catch up to.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Mitchell, we're at 85. Still don't see you.
85, looks like I'll be at your, probably about 11 o'clock, and I'm going about 98 right now. I'll give you another wing wag.
And where are you at relative to the island?
I am, looks like about 7 miles just to the north of, maybe the isthmus, maybe a little bit, north and, west of the isthmus.
And Mitchell, turn for the isthmus.
Heading towards the isthmus for you.
What's your speed?
Right now going 105.
All right, I got you in sight now. Just stay there, and just get on the back side of the island, and then I'll keep you in sight.
Roger.
All right, now I got it. What's your indicated now?
Indicated is 100 now.
SoCal 330 Charlie Romeo's joined up on the Delta Lima Cirrus. We'd like to squawk standby for 2 show. All right, radios to you, Mitchell. I'm coming up on your left now.
Roger, looking for you.
1700 contact delay.
Let's go to 120 knots. Give me your altimeter setting.
Altimeter's 298, 298.
Got it.
November 0 Charlie Romeo, squawk standby.
In standby, just let them know we're in standby.
32. Alright, correct.
You slowed up a little too much.
Southwest. 1634, maintain the 1.
Speed up on me now. Okay, so we're 8,500 feet now, and the Cirrus is coming up next to us. So what we're gonna do is both start side by side, and we're gonna go to a cruise. 25. We're gonna go to a cruise power setting and just kind of see how these airplanes do in relation to each other. Okay, Mitchell, just let's both go now to whatever your cruise power setting is, in count of 3.
Okay, you capped out?
3, 2, 1, go. And I'm on you now, okay?
And window, please. Window, please. And the other aircraft, top out 10 to 1 also. Yeah, I'll get them today, I'll take you. Alright, Roger, thanks.
Okay, so the Cirrus pulled away from us a little bit, but we're gaining back on it now. What's your indicated airspeed?
Indicated airspeed right now is 150.
And true?
True is 178.
Alright. So we're pretty close to the same, and it looks like we're hanging in there pretty tight with him. I think he accelerated pretty quick, but right now, based on where he's at, it looks like we're equidistance. 8,500 feet. And what's your fuel burn?
Right now, fuel burn is 16.9.
It's about right where we're at. So it looks like, basically it looks like we're staying, maybe you might be getting away from us a little bit, but it looks like our distance is pretty good. You accelerated faster than we did, but I feel like now I'm actually gaining on you a little bit.
Yeah, now I'm all adjusting. I'm at 13.5, 78% power, and still 16.9. Yeah, it looks like you might be catching up a little.
And your true airspeed?
True airspeed is now 179. Ground speed is 173.
Yeah, we're definitely catching you a little bit. So I'm about 16.5 gallons an hour. I'm making about 21 inches of manifold pressure and about 2,500 RPM. So now we're definitely gaining on him. So just stay at that power setting coming out of the turn, going back to the west, and we'll try to join up on you and just stay where you're at.
Roger, yeah, you want me to flip all the way around back to west?
Yeah, just stay on the front side of the island. Basically, I feel like these two airplanes are about almost exactly the same speed. He pulled away when we went to our cruise power setting, but we caught up to him. Both burning about the same fuel. Of course, he's running lean a peak. We're rich a peak. All right, let's just see now if I can catch you here with a little bit of a longer run. What's your manifold pressure in RPM?
Manifold pressure is 30.4. RPM is 2,500.
So we're 20 21 and a half inches at 2,500 RPM. I'm gonna bring my RPM back now. Based on where we're at on your traffic screen, would you concur that we're pretty much holding our position on you?
Yeah, it looks pretty close. Well, it looks like you're staying in the same spot.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how it seems like we're just almost equidistant exactly. Even when I reduce my RPM now to 2,300, still staying on you pretty good.
Yeah, you're staying in the exact same spot in my view. So. Now we're pushing right now.
You're on me now. Okay, so kind of to summarize that, we, looking in the book, speeds with this IO 550 upgrade, it's tough to tell. We can look at the book and see that we match the speeds, and it looks like based on the book numbers, the Cirrus is probably 7 knots faster up through 10,000 feet. So we didn't really have a good measure of what this bigger engine does in cruise performance. We know we get a higher gross weight, we got better climb, but we weren't quite sure what it meant in cruise, and it's hard to figure. Plus we have analog instruments, so to calculate true airspeed's a little less perfect with analog instruments with no air data computer. So basically what we did is we got next to the Cirrus there, and we both went to a cruise power setting, and this airplane normally aspirated, it was full power. It was at 85% power. And I think his true airspeed ended up being about 178 knots at 8,500 feet, about 17 gallons an hour. Lean of peak, we were getting about 21 inches, and we were staying right with him. So I'd say, the practical outcome is that this airplane's about as fast as the Cirrus at 8,500 feet in cruise on about the same fuel burn at 21 inches of manifold pressure versus him at that altitude at 85% power. He was getting 30.5 inches. So more power based on the turbocharger, but we got retractable gear, a little bit smaller airplane, so we were doing the same. Go ahead.
Just advise me that your altitude and transponder is still up. If you can switch it back on.
Altitude 7,000, transponder's back on now.
Thank you.
So it's about what I expected, honestly. I expected this airplane to be pretty close to as fast as a turbo Cirrus, where the Cirrus will start to walk away as you start getting altitude and the manifold pressure on this airplane drops off, and the Cirrus is turbocharged, so probably above 10,000 feet it's gonna slowly start to walk away from this airplane based on the turbocharger. So pretty interesting. I mean, it's not too far off of what I thought it would be. This airplane's faster than the book number, certainly, with the standard 520 in it. So I think mission accomplished on how this went. And this, the Cirrus is probably the most, I'm just trying to think, Cessna 400 and the Cirrus are pretty close to the same speed. The 400, I think, advertises higher speeds at higher altitudes than the Cirrus. Mooney is another airplane in this category. The Mooney Bravo at some point was the fastest, I think. The Acclaim S maybe was the fastest piston single out there. All those numbers were based on really high altitudes and turbocharging, like 25,000 feet, 230 knots or something like that. But my experience with people that we're familiar with that fly these airplanes, practically speaking, nobody goes to those altitudes. Now, we'll say nobody. A small percentage of people would go to those altitudes in a single engine piston airplane, take advantage of those numbers. So, more at the altitudes these airplanes fly at, you're probably looking at more at 180 to 190 knots if it's turbocharged. So it's a good test. Hopefully you watch this and see kind of as a comparison a real side-by-side comparison. You know, how these airplanes do against each other. You can always look at book numbers, and you can always look at true airspeed, but they're always, you know, they're always off a little bit. And this is same day, same altitude, same temperature, same barometric pressure, 2 airplanes. He's at 85% power. We're at max power because of the non-turbocharging, and we're basically staying with him at about 178 to 180 knots true airspeed on roughly the same fuel burn. So we're rich at peak, he's lean at peak in the Cirrus. So anyway, we're heading back to Long Beach. I hope you found this helpful, and I did. It's a good benchmark for me because I get a lot of questions about this kind of stuff. So now I can actually tell people that we did a side-by-side, and this is where it stands. Okay, we're back on the ground. I'm here with Mitchell. He was driving the Cirrus, and you know, my impression was, as I mentioned, that the airplanes, he accelerated faster because he had a lot of manifold pressure to gain with the turbocharger, but once we settled in, we stayed pretty equidistant from each other. Was that kind of what you felt?
Yeah, you know, the Bonanza pretty much stuck right there with the Cirrus. You know, like you were saying, on the initial acceleration up at that high altitude, the turbochargers definitely kicked in. But once you sped up and once we, you know, kind of evened out, the Bonanza was staying right there.
And you've been flying this airplane for what, a year?
Yeah,
these guys?
I've been flying about a year.
Typically, what altitude and cruise speed do you get?
Typically somewhere between 8,500 to 11,500, and usually true airspeed is around 175 to 180.
And we were getting 178, I think?
Yeah, 178 up at our altitude today.
So I think the conclusion, like I mentioned, is that this airplane, the Bonanza, it's as fast as a Cirrus, up probably through 10,000 feet. And then I think the turbochargers really kick in. But interesting for me to see, and appreciate Mitchell coming along. Thanks for watching.